start.
Daru menka dinna endoscopy gi triche thepchi ya chudi yebda shungi triche chu khodu beni gi denle dosu ngi tam sa chukchil hapchi tandi bedu. De nepchu gi jangka da tridi menka de gi thasi chamni gi triche chu dulu yarsintani gi charchidu. Jangda netsu gi denlu wandi portale chenga doji gi nishu di senam tezi gi dulen bewi.
Timbulu kelu shibshe chilami pogi chigi kora numkur datengi timsung gagba ngagi tungzubewi nedendi timbugi timsung gagbagi tokibe matubbe kanyi kedibidu. Iru dilu timsung gagbada tiwachin nedendi toki mabewayuru shibchibedi yubbeme.
Pogi di da tiwachin kora duchu chida nibi chise chusum gipchiru numkur tangdi norzin lamgi lam jadam ka lebi gab timsung gagbatsugi kayobe labdezi inru kogi debe kakabim sheram mashizime. Inru numkor datyungi timsung gagbatsugi taj sakangi boloka daruya kabi kab kasha jumilu ten timsung gagbat ngagi kolu dungzo beime.
Zolera to kongi nga lab hengkap chapla. The lab hengkap chap da lab left ki khatule kongi hema cha chap dila. Cha chap chi lab ep di khatule pai langa gila. Pauchi delente paurundura zoina dosina mashibatengi zole na sami shubera taila khongila tele amsuchi dula che phoge memina se galente ngilap ota chabla ngi gena changkho goloma khongmugi kam kela tani be ngama daptaila telen zoina dosina malo tingal nga khara the masube asela tala fami jomi di dumo la cheki shoila khadim cheki shuru khongi nyema thula tela anale te khade benara mashibe asela changchana diila telela tan ta pawachin khongi chani mese no dila na se rojila na na
khogi lamina timsung gagbatsu gi tamiluten khora nepti matse chimdo nia chada nuzi shechi iru khogi chimdo debe chadab imdi shule menkana jujimle shipchi biwe kablu chamchi shechi ze im matse degang khora chaya dandi yuzi me dezumbe khogi numkorgu tetebi shuyeble khogi jenchigu dungshimle jojoe khaniya keizi shechi Telo timpogi timsung gopinchi gi kyumena poge dinale nyoshu hepchira goto shipchi beep inru dubje memelu ten toke mibeni be shaize ime. Daru gopindigi lamena kong chachabgi parche CCTV na tawe kablo ya timsung gakpatsu gi kogi numkodi takche bemi parlege shen mathonze im matse nedendi ipchi dauchi lamda chamchi nishu bemelu ten tenche bewalo ya laka duzi shechi. Te timsung gakba gi numkor datun gi timsung gakba deto yubi Dokba yumi nga lu diwa kyui kablu ya kong chachab gi dizum gi dungzub gi ladi mabeze labdi yuppe ime. Jangda netsu gi dinlo pema sultan stringi nishu di senam tezi gi dulen bewi.
Shin dakhasu kodamde ible shemganglu sotingi latsulu thopodibe yuppeme. Daru shin dakhasu kodamida rikzel chengi lemi memilu tendibe kabab sulu sotingi lasu dusika chu duninal tonglen chungdibido. Dezumbe konchachiblo sotinnalu lalen tab chobeyumi shingche tsuya matobe kangil tendube yupime.
Darinaba shemgan rabde gelun sogi tuinlo tosa say khami chi chabni ge laso bewi ganrudo. Dari laso yepchi judu nigu hiri yep inro khabab de lo shi da yumi so matoba yepchi lo chi de chi gugup ten yupime.
Tenga chire shingdi ti nalu te somel dami gi somel machine le tenga chire shing khodub di ya bumdale begobela bumdale beoda namesami gi gari gi lada ya gi gong gara beodalu te shingdi namesami gong bombera te new embassy junila
dagis in the somel mindigi namesami kangal themi sa kajnemesin the somel mindigi and portion tawsan gara wose jom bula sa ani mindigi kangal du sa
amga chimgong lu te shing somel shing dani gi somel cheme ba namesami thapchadi ngachi porchin drabeodani lache mambe jomela da porchin dra lacha bumchi tamachi ro somelna tondo sumdi shipchemi jonimela ani khebribe
ani di jongkhak dinalu yebi shing ta khanip ti me te shing ta khanip ti gi hema shin che somala lambe temple be suri yip inro tari neyam gi tisekha lochi lhapchi gi rin lo godam de jagop thino te zombe jagar gi lemi soya khonre gya khapna lo so yeble ta toy bana ya loko masabatu ani di shing ta khang so so chi imda shi ta khang di debi losum gi hemale godam yepta de ya de gan sonde lejum be joma to milutin di me inro tale pa di gi be go chi ni gi pa cham do yepta di gi tun lo ta re cha she so ta di si di do
shing di dumna member dak be namjom ba chi no di gi be nga chema tribunalo ta khang chungku da inkina be chi mobile somil se la mimola andi sunga chigi ma nawa jindigi be khoma shak digi be 데 할람치디 난키나기드 가라 아니 모바일 소밀기 텐디기베 지기 송들 탑수이 슈니
te kadebi inro tari tise ahanim chekha lako sabnigi thablam chi kane ame pime janda ni sugi den lo shemgan le pe masamdup ki ni sidi kiletem gi nyusupyo in
gyakhamnalo nahi nem thundibe namdilo sese malangbe tonglins jumbishi mise mashu chigira sesegi la jabomber peni kotsuno dizumbe sarbang zonkak singi geognaloya sanamba laluchige ombob sotsubi rewa kedibe gelyong nazoda soda chui yukanale kyundil lenshimle sondrilgi tenlo sanamgi lasu peni kotsuibime dari konchachevgi thungyosu du rindibe yuro sondril 탑세 싸고 메블레 선넘버스 균델 록담니기 태갈로 사기랑고 튼데베도
트시기 사시 에커 치협치기 날로 럼벤다스 수디요다 코기 깨뉴 수치베 균들 뉘tom붐 숨다 돈다 캐치레미 빔베 코기 데베사 더우기세 럼벤다 깨지 캐치니 구tam바 또심레 서봉 통콜로 좀바 바유피로 뇨미카에 마트미메
gelevuli juma susu shudala dan ke yani keji kaching yap diginde nga gelevuli juwa chinale manga chi kilometer yip chisum chi soge di chi chi su shudo dan nale yibe be utala fa sarpang na ma be uta dan ni be ni digi da mara ma ba su shudala ba sarpang na ba ila sarpang na ba be kan le ta chusugi de ma nga chi gi ba sa do lu som da ni nyume mindula ka yi keji gan le ge choma sula 아니 칠선데 아니 소모 술리 텐데베 셈기 사자 dumurdi bombe라 부치세 슈돌라다 런디 가데베디 록디 아라기신 아니글레 탱궁 아니글레 답수기리와 잡지 세슈도
데 기옥선남 자기 이차기 미스선 넘버 출로 콩레 튕규수 존이나 잡주르 베니들레 종각난 귤 총들 탑세 사고 수다도 유페이메 총들 탑세 사고체 롭다다 주디 주이메
다 치딩 아치기다 아치기 스쿨 링킹 프로그램 세슈멜라 티 스쿨 피딩 프로그램 다 치가 아치기다 그룹 세세기 대신치 대대뱅 아치기 틴질베디 세슈넬라 대 세세 대신이 아치라 난겔레 템비기 세세디수 대가치라 롭트 알로출루 대랑기 이고기 롭다날로 더블베고 페페오달로 대티스에 아치기 대베 스쿨 다 치가 대가치기 다 아치라기 룽초 총델다 선음 이창 다 치가 틴제제시날로 대가치기 아니베 콘다치가 링크 소비 세슈넬라
대선 넘버 출로 내든 디기 마도와 개옥티날레 곱길라자 봄비비메 텐룹 총어숨 질료에 곱사샤사기 사고메비 동린 중디비도 거길라메나 유칸날레 꾼들슈디 마츠시 주베데 유메다 튠 거기 개옥선남 자기 이살로 튠키주 사샤세 사고 참디기 뚫 잡주르 고비 슈와 베디 베셰치
디체 렌돌 할람치 다니 렌베오다단 다 주사기 땅바지면랑 침지고 벌 다니 침디에 미 대안이 메바신다 샥사사고 미노 남자임베 나니 사드레스 나베 대슝기 하니치 다 가디치 메세로 테니 잘라디 랑기 베달라디 데베로 당알로 셴디 치사다 안순 메데베라 나르슝기 차쇼치 잡초치 바친 텔레시 안숨데 데라디 가르베다와
디로 기옥선남 자기 고빙길라메나 내든 디기 콜레 종각선남 이찰로 따디 유페이메
마치기 곱디 다 테니기 디스렌치라 아니 버들로 다 고블루 카체슈치 다 마치기 끼우링스메라 곱감니기 탑시치 다 디스기 된로 다 미서스기 땡아칠로 이구지에 당자 해치세 슈닐라 대해 버들로 마치 기억 선남기 카톨리디다 남섬에 망일레 민도 딜로 잡주라 베미스웨다 아니 버들로 마치기 이구디 마치 종각 선남 이상로 땅디 세슈닐라 아니 버들 종각 선남기 이상의 카톨리디 디스다 탈름 지위가 예봉세 땡아라 카톨리디 녹선당도 세슈닐라
대신기 기억날레 미세선 넘버 2기 뉴토기 라비 뉴든로 나조다 소다 추원날레 꾼들 슈디 유페메 장다 네츠기 뚫로 서방레 카르몬디기 네주디 추인잠 수기 들른도이
팜야치 메비칼로 알루스에 가라 왕불로 토포미 짱저라 배워진 팜야집딜로 가도 세맵지 뇽곱 텐도에비메 디즈메 서방 데킬링 기억날로야 푸르키 라이디 맙다 캅제디베 다리베다 로닥버치 조도입다 아이치기 왕불로 토포미 부숨차라 소니날로 동린 중디비도
purke railu pu sumyebda sumchara ongbolu topomi beole dewa meba chichongda danzi tabdira dyogop tendo yobime inru chowi tenlu lasa jogop tendo yoble mugi atara pu sumda chika dyumi sudo yobime Tia zasanalu la besumi kelo jipchulami ai mora chamchi beule gacho meba busum chimna ko jadi lasa jogup tendubedo. Mora lasa judubi kan wongbolu topumi busum chimgi takolepa ai gudesa tom ime.
Ngagi ngarai busum tempo menkanalu takchi sube tauda tunsogi konsum charagi netang dindibera du selabde te datochin se konsum menchi benigi denlu censhu kedira yeru be machu zuchu jini le gochu di nana da chikaila gara ngaragi begop themda lakhatame
Mugila mina mabda khapche de lotakpachi son yoble mabdegi khonza satsulu jabjurbewa tetelege milhube sishiji. Inru mugila mina morei alutsu miwa ngadarimbochi chugi kidu lerimnalu Tokyo besudu yoble degi khon chachabgi chowalu lenta bombera chundi yusishiji.
Ngarai zasa sudari nekap gi chimchi na dedo. Chimdia ngarai phogemda khogi amsugi be chapchi. Khoni gi ngarai zasalu jabjur bediraye.
Tare mulu ombabgi tunkung tentoto chikane meble jingi shinre sa zotungi sago tsunalepa lare tadi dudo yubime. De mugi lamina tinale tomi nyutigi lami subese inru tabjen meble kayu kuyuchibe tsowa chondo se shepime. Mulu tizumgi kadusu nyondera beru moda ongbolu topomi morei busumgi tenlu sempa mashumba eigi gyomkudi tu mashowa bado yubime. Janda nesugi tenlu sarbong le karmo wandigi nyejudi shtuji dulen bewi.
Dinta nesil chashu lerimde techibi pisoda chikalu lerimsi namiyonlu doji kesigibe kachiti katiches shuni. De lerimdi shume dintenaluya logdira piuda chika yanchadu kusambichege katiche.
Karaluku zambola taringa gi menkap subachin digi kevin su kadevera yega digi kole shuni dia tamba cheralu covid gi neji thopni nyekhadi mafa bedi chera nyensung beu I niba kadimchibe cheralu neji di thopdi bero neji dile dendi chera shube mina sumba menkap gi shikin su kasub I jiba chegi chera I zatsada charuchu nyensung beu I ngaba seoda chugi ngacherai mideda gyakap nyensum besop I
te doctor ngacherai gyakap na menkap di tap chika kara tuntachi na judu be chabni I semidi kachbe inala
tebe gyakap na duntachi na mi kara tap chika menkap zugobi jumsen chuya tamba mi kara neji da shiken chule socha betablo da niba menkap di tap chika be chubachin mi mangi zuka neji tubi niba di tap chika thopde midena neji chapel benile kaashimle midedi lok hema zumbe nyensungda dembe zo tabloi debeole ngachera yubab kheche dembe misu kara menkap chugobdi ngachera genkhuchi I
doctor la menkap digi covid-19 da chup ina mola
menkap di neji kathap ki tenlu mato neji thopsa shimle minche beni tenlu men semedi ngachi karagi shigo debeole mimang karalu menkap chapgobi jumchenya neji di kathabloi
menkap di nyensu da dem ina mola
menkap gi nyensung gi kole shuwachin menkap chu nyensung da dembe khar phenni chewi neji kathap gi thablom ngomachi I menkap di chu jamling soi lecho gi jabnin bedi yeble jamling gyakap mashu china menkap chu ni di gochu di yeb I menkap kara lalin thapchobi nawo majimbi hema nyensung da dembe ngeten zoni tenlo shipchel chu thelshimbe bedo yeb I dizumbe ngachire gyakap nara beru menkap chu gi kherik lamten namida phenni yu mi tami soil henkagi geyong menkap kherik lapten desenda menkap gi nyensung yemi tami menrik jingke wanzi ni yup in lede chugi menkap chugi kole shipselda takjib shipjibe bejimle chamchi soil henkalu menkap digi kole jeten chim in debole menkap de mi chi da ni gi jeta chep salera me
Debeuda menkap ti chap shimle lalu gutona lalu khampo chap lalu menkap chap saboni la so pitak thin su temmelo te tizum gi tak thin tembachin ngachi kachi bego pinala
te den Dea menkap gachira chabro menkap le ten min lalu chilu tizum min takchen su teon debeole cheralu menkap zujimle menkap le ten takchen su temmega tani tenlo menkap zubi sanne nara dein karma sumchugi ringlu gu dego belong deikap chegi menkap zumi gopen suda chika nyamrel bego debeoda cheralok chimna hishimle dinta chigi nangke takchen disu jumbachin sowi labjagi tenlo chegi ditele cherai sanne nang yejin bede yubi doctor da chika dewa thawkop imda doctor chugi jutin angdang chuya rasoi gyog yechanalu chindi yubi dimen jutin ang ni chi yana chi lekor gi tholu ninju begobi
mapa ngachi su menkap sa kadeji chugop in mo la doctor
chui menkap chui se chijok beni tenlu menkap ten ni chara chambe chugobi menkap ten ni badi menkap ten damba chujimle dinta gale chuni gi pana top chuni imle di tenlu soil henka ki chabra sosobera beong te niji kathap ki niba thopni tenlu menkap ten niba chuchajimle dinta ni dechi gu i debyole chera menkap ten ni chara chuchawi thama ten niba chukde dinta ni jojimle chamchi menkap chui sewi ngojor bechuni i ngache kara chirub gi thole ngachera da ngacherai mide tele gekhap nyensung bege chirub gi thole niam di chame tange
dugi theyang chejing gi setup be minalo yebab tembe temple wa chugi server da firewall temple da chukdik tizumbe da den da thirik chache temple gi rindur nalu chamato na seime rindur yicha so yondel chargo www.bdfl.bt nale publin be chunida rinduri yichachu chida sumbegi chese sumchu sochi nima chuche chunyegi nangkhelu chukdi yichachu tese nima chuche ni da karma sumchulo khapche ni seime khasegi tenlo yichagi tuchakalu lekorni sum lekor gu ni lekor ge thole dewa thapnida yana lokting khajang wangchuk 1996@gmail.com gi thole dewa thapna seime lamsel lekhung thimbo luncho isagi memayonlu setup beminalu khasadap choda jimina panagi kholam khalu yebigi rcc samdi shupshimle samsap chapni imle chida sumbegi chitse khechini le deyu dodibachugi sulam samdi lalen thapna se imda sulam samdi lalen thabegi kaplu thoche thoshora metric ton sumchulege ba metheni imle deyu yongi thokalu namna seime kadimchi be chapda dilu maneba shule tap Dewi Kendri Tembachin Lamsil Lakhongi Nyankame ba seime Jatab Madeu Juni Imelu Thugizeba Shena Sishua Bewime
Dujanda Lezingi Sada Bemina Nunkor Chunwi Deyo Nigi Sato Yuble Kilo Chobgele Sumchusu Gugibana Bewika Nyunta Lubrim Chubi Shese Yumitsugi Ransu Shuizu Kachiwi Chatsuda Dade Chida Sumbe Chese Sumchusu Chigin Nanku Tuna Sishuni Gokabdi Nyamnyong Yumilup Jinida Kasidin Yung de Chago www.bbs.bt
In the headlines, the former Trompen of Gilifu and Finsoling get through the first round as the Damwe Zomdu for the Tromde elections commences today. Oral health in the country remains poor, with 1/3 of the population suffering from dental problems. And yak herders in Bumtang face marketing issues amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Kuzangpo, very warm welcome to BBS News. I'm Sam Tendolkar. A difference of a lone vote booked the candidature of former Finsoling Thompen Uttar Kumar Rai from his constituency for the third Thomde elections. The Damngoi Zomdu or selection procedure for the constituency Neda Demko was conducted today.
Of the 84 eligible registered voters in Neda Demkong, 65 attended the Damngoi Zomdu. Their votes were divided between two aspiring candidates, the former Thompe, Uttar Kumar Rai, and a businessman, Tashi Wanchu. And the former Thompe secured 33 votes to stand for the elections from the constituency. Unlike in 2016, when Finsoling Thomde had a lone candidate running for the Thompe's office, this time at least 3 candidates are expected. Water scarcity, housing crunch and public transport system are some pertinent issues the voters expect the next Finsoling Thompe to work on. There are over 900 registered voters in Finsoling Thomde. Similarly, Jampiling Demkong in Gelifo Thomde chose the former Thompe Tika Ram Kafle over a former Zongda Harka Singh Tamang as their Thompe candidate. Of the 117 votes cast during the Damngoi Zomdu today, Tika Ram Kafle secured 83 votes. As per unconfirmed sources, excluding the former Thompe, there is only one candidate aspiring to stand for the post of Gelifo Thompe. Going by the draft electoral roll, the Gelifo Thomde has just over 1,500 registered voters in its 6 constituencies. For Bureau Reports, Tringzam, BBS News.
And the voters of Samdup Jongkharte decided not to elect a representative during the by-election for the constituencies Thomde Thokpa yesterday. The lone candidate for the post secured more no votes.
The constituency has 63 eligible registered voters, and less than half of them turned up to cast their votes at the polling station in Samdup Jongkhar Primary School. Of the 23 votes cast, the candidate Cheong Rinzin secured only 9 yes votes. Some residents of Samdup Jongkhar Thomde said with just around 6 months left before their Thomde Chokde's 5-year term ends, having a new Thomde Chokpa will not benefit them much. Samdup Jongkhar remained without a representative after the former Chokpa resigned to pursue further education in August 2019. Meanwhile, 37-year Jumiwandi was elected as the new Chokpa for Khandupu Minjuwang Chiwak in Serthi Gyawak yesterday. The post was vacant since the former Chokpa was convicted for marijuana smuggling in August last year. For Kilowanshu in Samdup Jongkhar, Ishidoji for BBS News.
Oral health in the country remains poor, with 1/3 of the population suffering from dental problems. And this is despite having better dental facilities, according to health officials. Today, as Bhutan observed the World Oral Health Day for the first time, dentists advise people to cultivate the habit of visiting dentistry for oral health checkup more regularly.
As per the Annual Health Bulletin 2019, dental caries or decaying of a tooth along with diseases of teeth and gum are the most common medical conditions in oral health. And the number of cases is higher among the school-going children with 83.8% caries prevalence. Moreover, oral cavity and lip cancers are the top causes of deaths from cancer in the country, next to stomach and cervical cancers.
They come almost towards the end stage where we cannot salvage the tooth. We need to go for extraction or maybe root canal treatment. When it comes to that stage, it means it's quite advanced stage. So even in case of cancer, now we can diagnose cancer at a very early stage. But the problem is patients do not turn up early.
He says, together with lack of oral health awareness, excessive chewing of doma, smoking, and consumption of alcohol are some of the common causes of oral cavity cancer. According to the doctor, people should visit a dentist at least twice a year for oral health checkup. Besides, consuming more fruits and vegetables is advised.
Dental caries is so high in Bhutan is most of our people do not use fluoridated toothpaste. We do not get fluoride from any other sources in Bhutan except toothpaste, fluoridated toothpaste. Maybe we get a little bit from the animal products or vegetables, but it is very less.
The Health Minister observed the World Oral Health Day to highlight the importance of one's oral health with the theme, Be Proud of Your Mouth. Kinzong Haden for BBS News.
As more Bhutanese opt for settling cases through the court-annexed mediation units, the Bhutan National Legal Institute has been preparing bench clerks to improve the services of such a unit. So far, around 100 bench clerks have been trained. For the latest batch, the week-long training was organized in Sirang, which ended today.
19 bench clerks from the Supreme Court, the High Court and 5 Western Districts courts underwent the training this time. They were taught the principles and process of mediation required for a smooth conduct of dispute resolutions and negotiations. According to the Bhutan National Legal Institute, the court-annexed mediation, which means negotiating cases without having to forward them to courts, helps litigants save time and costs.
레친디기 나디베미딜로 캐펜 니 세슈넬 당바 자오코라로 캐펜지 데나메세메 제로라망고 디세나메세메 초라 라망고베 데딘 통고진나로 지지디 주도네메 땡가치 팀기딘셀루야 캐펜 예고미디 땡가치기 가딤집에 지지디 나메세메 장칼레 셰베와진 데세시디딘 레샤고네메 단벤데기 지지기 장카데 뇽베와진 땡가치기 디굴로 전슈 깨디기베 that tinchedi chue dangtimdi chue picheda dembe jinilo namsame kepeni sishuni
nachiragi midenalo te chijip chibe ge fambe thya asoba chin nami samige ani chichul hindam chomma bala tanga ani be chijip chi gule jusa sunsu chi so hindam chomma ta anzume nadi cha byasoba chin chue tupchinga tupchi so da ge fambe bala nichiragi thasobe mithingi thole bendigela ani bodalo midenalo nami samige lejombe dewa tap tele mi nanal midenalu chigichi charobe hanigi namsami pentoni me sushunila
nandik digibe khong chachablo deldok de juni chani desogi ngajigi disidoso mahizo pisobala dani bedalo khora semka yumigi nidin semka yumigi sanjadeso semka chagedeso garanga chilu timgi desaludi de maase jumasumi maase junela jusumile de rani ngachira nandi khamena bewajin dato chitang ngachira midosu lolabdo zum beimbala dani bedalo 때 공차잡기 권하 준이기 레드 때 권하기 나나기 상담데서 유로 가라 시수베발 아니기디 대담 삼미 공로 펜토스 준이라.
As per the Mediation Report 2020, over 440 cases have been mediated in the court-annexed mediation units across the country since its inception in 2019. Currently, there are 27 such units.
데 팀게딘사 라루진나로 데 나운디자미기 제중메바 데다리 나바야 데데베 강리 시슈넬 단벤데기 나히 남로닉동 케치 젠마기 난가 나디기 geonggi nyejudilu tawachin tet 지지 십주 제숨데 질레 공기 낭데 베마 주베 슈넬 데 날레바유레 토티디라 데 종다디가데다 진베베 데 팀게딘사 제중 예리 예치 데마치 낭디기 종다디 주테베베 데 가게라유레 데 톡자 맵베 데 낭디 잡수베기 데 데마치게 릭셀다 냠용 쪽도디 소카라 마투투베 소자네기
낭디바 이 케체수 상급 가치도가 데 디날로 베숍다 마초기 데 람로수 자고기 림바수 레줌베 데 테나데 시슈니빈라 아네 베베달로 나치기 다파 나라소스기 춤기 딘살로 조시나베 다 디날로 나치기 베곱다 작업주 때 가치라이나 오 짜펜지기 슈미즈로 상자다 때 가데베 작업이나로 날리 힌사 사베 송난데 시슈니빈라 아네 베베달로 때 당하기 카틀레베 와진디다 닌당 다 두디데 다할람 또브라토베 시슈니빈라.
According to reports, resolving disputes through mediation gained momentum in the country from 2012 after local government leaders were trained to mediate disputes in their respective kyoks. For Pemato in Tirang, this is Pasung Doji for BBS News.
Now, recently, Highlanders in Tsentogyeok in Poro had to slaughter their yaks to make ends meet. Normally, they didn't have to do that. They could make a living selling dairy products, including cheese and butter, but they couldn't do that this year because of the pandemic and the consequent lockdowns. And as Kipchu reports from Bumthang, Highlanders in Dur have also been similarly affected.
Selling yak's dairy products became demanding for the yak herders of Bumtha after the government started imposing travel restrictions in the country. And today, most of the products, butter and dry cheese, remain stacked up in their huts. It has been a lean year for them.
The dairy products get sold only when there are unrestricted movements and more travelers transiting our district. And this time, it has been a year of lockdowns and travel restrictions. Moreover, as our products are not essential food items, it is becoming increasingly difficult for us to sell them. On the other hand, the price for imported goods such as rice, cooking oil and vegetables have doubled or even tripled over the last 1 year.
Rice, vegetables and chili prices have increased steeply after the pandemic hit the country, while the prices of yak's dairy products remained the same. Sustenance has become difficult for yak herders like me. Earlier, the sale of cordyceps used to be an alternative source of income, but due to the economic distress the pandemic caused, we didn't fetch good prices for the fungus this year.
In Dur, the practice of yak herding has remained largely unaffected by modernization. However, amid the pandemic, some herders fear the situation could change.
If the
COVID-19 situation doesn't improve in the next few years and dairy products continue to remain unsold, I think people will consider giving up yak herding.
The National Highland Research and Development Center NHRDC in Bumtha says yak herders groups should inform the center for intervention. It can support them with product diversification.
Under the Highland Development Program, what we are trying is to diversify in a modern way that includes value chain, well packaged, and then in fact we are also trying to see the nutritional contents in the diversified products. For example, some of the products where the herders were trained were making of rasgulla, the ghee, and then not only that, we are also looking into the packaging and then labeling and then also the certification point of view. Unless we diversify the yak products, the market issue will be always there.
The center conducted such training in Ha last year and another in Wangdifoda last week. For Kipchu in Bumtha, Sunampem for BBS News.
Meanwhile, the yak herders in Bumthang have also been dealing with bear attacks on their ration stores for several years now.
The herders build a separate shelter by stacking stones to keep their ration. This is done against the difficulties faced in transporting goods in steep and rough terrains. As they keep moving from one place to another throughout the year, they use the store as a food supply base.
Traditionally, bears don't raid our ration huts, so this is a fairly new issue. It's been about 5 to 6 years now since such an issue was first reported. We have to guard our rations every night or else we would lose them to bears. The animal eats whatever it can and damage the rest. We have informed the concerned authorities about the issue. The Chokor Geog office told us that they would provide us solar fencing for our huts, but we didn't get any yet. It would be beneficial if the government could help us construct concrete structures to store our provisions.
This is a very serious issue. We can't keep guarding the ration stores all the time as we have to move and settle in other locations with yaks. This is especially difficult for herders who do not have any helper with them. These days, as most children go to school, some herders stay alone in the mountains. That's why bears often attack our ration stores.
The NHRDC is planning to propose a separate budget to address the issue.
Actually, the Highland Development Program is mainly on the products and then packaging and then value addition. So it doesn't cover when it comes to the construction and the infrastructure. But again, we have seen that these are some of the issues not only in Bumthang but in most of the highland areas. So now we are in the process of proposing a separate proposal whereby we can assist them in this sort of support.
With yaks about to return to higher grazing grounds in about a month's time, authorities might have to act fast to address both marketing and bear menace issues. For Kipchu in Bumta, Sunampem for BBS News.
A recap of our main stories. The former Trumpin of Gilifu and Finsoling get through the first round as the Damwe Zomdu for the Trumde elections commences today. Oral health in the country remains poor, with 1/3 of the population suffering from dental problems. And yak herders in Bumtang face marketing issues amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Also visit our website www.bbs.pt. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube as well. Goodbye.
The Election Commission of Bhutan is pleased to hereby declare, as required under Section 457 of the Election Act of the Kingdom of Bhutan 2008, the results of the by-elections to the post of Gyeok Tsokde Sokpas and Tromde Tsokde Sokpa, with polls held on 19th March 2021. The details of the candidates who have been successfully elected as Sokpas are as follows. Pago, bearing citizenship identity card number 108050001183 from Jakartang under Paro Zongkak. Junmi Wandi, bearing citizenship identity card number 111110001353 from Kangdongfung Minjiong under Samdup Zongkar Zongkak, and Tempa Doya, bearing citizenship identity card number 112150021919 from Tongsa Topchentang under Samse Zongkak. Chawang Rinjin, citizenship identity card number 107059929941 of Samdup Zongkar Te Demkong, has not been elected, having received 14 no votes and 9 yes votes with no postal ballots. Further details of the final results are available on the Election Commission's website www.ecb.bt. It is also hereby being notified that as per Section 580 of the Election Act of the Kingdom of Bhutan 2008, the member elected to fill the casual vacancy shall only serve for the remainder